So guys, a couple of months ago, videos of 12-year-old Olivier Rioux, I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name, but I'm fairly sure his first name is Olivier, so that's what I'm going to call him for the rest of the video. So basically, videos of this guy went viral, and I'm going to be showing, obviously, the viral highlights in the background now, and it's fairly obvious why they went viral. This kid is 7 foot tall and only 12 years old. He's born in the year 2006, which means it's another 3 months until he becomes 13 years old. And right now he is 7 foot tall. And a big reason why these videos went viral is obviously because of the kids his age he's playing with and how big he is compared to them all, but also the fact he's playing on 8 foot rims. But in this video, we're going to be doing Olivier Rioux. How good is he actually? And I'm not talking about how good, obviously, as a basketball player he is right now. I'm talking how good he is as a 12-year-old, how I think he will be able to progress based on what we've seen from him so far. But anyway, before this video starts, you guys know what day it is. It is the 1st of December. So for any of you guys that have watched the channel, we are doing daily December. We're going to upload one video every single day. So if you guys could leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. And unlike last year where I completely burned out after doing this in December, I've got a plan basically for getting at least 2 to 3 videos out a month for the rest, well, from January onwards. And that was the big problem last year, is I tried to upload too much straight after December. But also, by the end of the year, we are trying to hit 70,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new to the channel and enjoy this content, subscribe. This is day 1 of 31, so there will be another 30 videos out over the next 30 days after this. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. So first of all, I'm going to talk about Olivier's strengths. First of all, his biggest strength is obviously his height. He's 7 foot tall and 12 years old. I've been reading a lot of comments about this guy, and a lot of people think that it's some sort of a growth disorder, why he grew so much, but it's more than likely genetics. His dad is, I think, 6'9", his mom is 6'1". He's got a brother who's 3 years older than him, who's 6'10", so he's just from a really tall family. He just obviously grew at a young age. As well as his height, I'm actually going to say that his movement is a strength. Like, a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, he doesn't run particularly fast, he doesn't move particularly well. Yes, he's not fast, but of course he's not fast. He's a 7 foot tall 12-year-old. No way are his muscles growing fast enough for that body. But at the same time, his running mechanics seem sound, his coordination seems good, he seems to be coordinated, and when he's actually running in a straight line, he doesn't appear to be that slow. Obviously, change of speed, changing directions isn't going to be the best, but straight line speed, he doesn't seem to be too much slower than a lot of the other guys his age, which is a big positive, especially because as he gets older and his muscles grow more, as his body develops, I think he will be able to move really well. Another strength is just by watching him, his shot form. He shoots the ball with good form, his touch is good, and he finishes quite well around the basket when obviously he's not just dunking it on them all with the no jump dunks. His hand-eye coordination seems to be quite good. He seems to be obviously quite good at catching the ball, which I know you guys might be thinking that's just a normal thing for a 12-year-old. But if you guys ever see people that are this height, well, freakishly tall at that young age, a lot of times they're bad at simple things like catching the ball. Whereas for Olivier, that doesn't seem to be a problem, which is why if you actually compare him to a lot of the guys that we've seen through the years at his height, at his age, he seems to be streets ahead of all the ones I've seen anyway, just in terms of motor functioning, in terms of both fine and gross motor skills, which is absolutely huge for his potential to play pro basketball, maybe even NBA basketball in the future. And the last strength is defensive positioning. If you've been watching this guy on defense, and I'm going to try see if I can get any clips here, obviously you guys probably would rather watch him just dominate against kids than watch him on defense, but his defensive positioning is good. If you're watching him play, he is guarding guards all the time who are quicker than him, and he does seem to close out quite well. He plays good help defense while also not helping too much, because a bit of a problem with guys this height is that they can just stand in the middle of the key, but he does seem to be somewhat taking responsibility for the man he's defending. While short term, it would be more beneficial to literally put him in the middle of the key, playing against 12-year-olds because they're not going to shoot the ball that well. Long term, the fact that it seems like his team isn't allowing him to play like that will definitely benefit him. And now we're on to his weaknesses. First weakness is his reactions. Hopefully this is something that will improve over time, but one thing I've noticed from watching him play in full games, you don't really notice it when you're just watching his highlights, is his reaction speed seems to be quite slow. So when someone goes by him, by the time he reacts and starts to turn, obviously his turning speed is going to be slow, but by the time he starts, it's a little bit late. He just seems to be a half second slow with all his movements, which is something that I'm hoping is just due to the fact that his body's too big for his muscles to react. And hopefully over time it's something that improves, and it's something that definitely could improve. And it's, to be honest, it's a little bit of a nitpick. saying his reaction time is slow, because a lot of the time he will recover in time to come back and block the shot. But it is something that right now is a weakness in his game, and something that if he improves on, he will be a unbelievable force on defense anyway. Another weakness from what I've seen is his effort on second phase on defense. For example, he might do a great job of closing out to a shooter, the shot will go up, but rather than say boxing out and getting the rebound if he's out at the 3-point line, if the other team gets the offensive rebound, he won't even go back and try to contest a second shot. It seems like once the first phase of defense is over, he just kind of stops playing, from what I've seen anyway. Well, it is only one full game, but he seemed to do it quite a lot, and that is the only actual problem with his game. I've got no problem with his first phase defense. Positioning's good, he closes out well, but as soon as if the team gets an offensive rebound, he seems to just switch off and decide to stop playing, which could definitely be a problem. And last thing, I'm not going to call this a weakness, but something that I'd rather see him not do, and that's just personal preference, because him doing this one specific thing is what people like Joel Embiid are praising him for, and it's trash talking. He trash talks people when he blocks them, he trash talks people when he dunks, but if you're a foot and a half taller than every player you're coming up against, of course you're going to dunk on him, especially on 8-foot rings. Of course you're going to block shots. And for me personally, I don't really like when people trash talk, especially with the fact that it's being encouraged for a 12-year-old. And if I was Olivier and I'm seeing NBA players encouraging me to do this one specific thing, I'd do it more and more. And it's just something that I don't like to see professional basketball players encouraging trash talk in any way. Well, encouraging kids to trash talk. Fair enough if you're an NBA player, if you're Embiid, one of the top probably 15 players in the world. And that may be rating him low. It's fine if someone like him trash talks, but I don't think it's something that you should be encouraging and praising someone who's only 12 years old and that much physically bigger than everyone else to do. And as time goes on, I don't actually see that being any benefit to him long term, and it could end up being a big negative. As you guys have seen with someone like Julian Newman, the kid plays with a lot of arrogance, and while a lot of people like it, the more I watch him, the more I think that that's going to be a reason why he may not end up making it in basketball, because I just don't believe he's good enough to be that arrogant. But again, that's just my personal opinion. It's why I'm not putting it in a weakness, because a lot of people see that about his game and love it. And I was actually breaking down a little bit more of his tape, and I saw him do this in a game. And I don't know whether this is just him being a kid or this is part of the whole almost arrogance, trash talking nature, but fair play to the ref for pulling him up, teeing him up, try to get rid of these bad habits early. But he was literally coming out to close out a shot and he clapped in someone's face, which thankfully the ref called a technical foul for it. But how good is Olivier actually? Regardless of what I said just with the last bit, Olivier has the potential to be a superb basketball player. If you guys have ever watched any of those 7-foot tall 12-year-olds, guys like Robert Bobroczky, a lot of other guys like Taco Fall even at that age, these guys do not move anywhere near as well as Olivier. These guys don't have the motor skills that Olivier has, which is the biggest thing about him. Both fine and gross motor skills. Some of them can move, but they're uncoordinated with their hands, they struggle to catch the ball. And then others are fine with their hands like Robert, but can't really even run. Olivier seems to be able to do both, and although his center of gravity is quite high, he does get pushed around a little bit even against kids his own age. Again, he's still growing into his body. Of course he's going to be pushed around because his center of gravity is so much higher than everyone else. When the kids are boxing him out, they're hitting him below his knees. Of course he's going to fall out. Of course he's going to struggle to keep balance. But as time goes on, that's something that's going to improve. I also think that as time goes on, he's going to become an even better shooter. He's already shown glimpses of being a solid passer, and his ability to hit cutters is good. And honestly, for Olivier, sky is the limit. Obviously, when you're talking about a 12-year-old, it's pointless to say whether they're going to make the NBA or not, because you never know how they're going to develop. You never know. He could end up tearing his cruciate next week and never fully recover from that type of injury at that size. Or he could end up just growing into his body, growing to maybe 7'3", 7'4", and being the next coming of Kristaps Porzingis. But from the full games I've watched him play, he definitely has the potential to be a super basketball player. And if all goes well, he will definitely be a professional basketball player. Who knows, maybe even make the NBA. And he's too young to say he's going to be a future NBA star, because anybody that we've predicted at like 10, 11 years old to be NBA stars, they really haven't panned out. Jayshon Augusto, Julian Newman, Seventh Woods really haven't been super players. So I'm not going to say that about Olivier now. So anyway, that's the video. This is the first of 31 videos that we will hopefully be able to release in December. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.